Yeah, so this should be up. We're live. We're going to talk about politics. It has been a day. I will tell you that much. For myself personally, let's just see. Okay. So we should be good everywhere. Cool. I'll wait for some people to get in here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and just start checking out some of these races. What can we find? Here we go. NBC News for Supreme Court judicial retention. That's one of the big ones. Let me make sure I bring up everything. New Jersey. Boom. Ooh, holy fucking shit. 22% counted. Cool. All right, so we got New Jersey, we got Pennsylvania, we have New York City. Not even started counting. Get me out of here. I'm sure that this will update as soon as it's ready. 9 p.m. is when we can start to see results. PBS NewsHour, NBC for California Prop 50. Cool. And then let's go check on Virginia. God damn. 51% counted. Okay. I was wrong. Still nobody in the chat. Okay. Whatever. Yikes. Okay, well, in the meantime, if nobody's going to join this, I'm going to go ahead and just watch somebody else stream. Oh, we do have a viewer. What's going on, single viewer? I actually can't see your comments if you choose to comment. I'm going to go ahead and lower this so I can actually see what you guys are saying. Assuming anybody is in here. Hey, Zachary, what's up, bro? Long time no see. My buddy from Instagram. My long lost platform. I hope you're doing well, man. Today is a good day so far. Not for me personally, but it is a great day for the country. I'm really excited to see what we pull out of the hat here. And yeah, I'm just kind of streaming. So, I mean, if more people join this, I'm going to do an actual conversation. But for the time being, since it's just the two of us, I am going to... Oh, there's a couple people on Twitch, I guess. I am going to stream somebody else's stream. And then, if more people jump in here and we actually drum up a conversation, we'll go for it. But I'm super pumped. So far, the results are very, very good. Let's see. Why did I pull that out? Let's go back to YouTube. Yeah, so far things are looking hot. Virginia is going to be a blowout. It's already over. 52% of the votes counted, and Spanberger has a lead by, nearly 200,000 votes. This is a shock. Jay Jones had a giant scandal where he said all this really violent stuff against Republicans. A lot of people suspected that was going to destroy him, but boom, he's eking it out. Obviously, lieutenant governor is going to go the same way as the governorship. Why the fuck people leave it blank, I don't know, but that's their prerogative. What the fuck? All right, let's turn off ads for the... actually, no, never mind. Okay. Prop 50, this is the big one for California that in figuring out, do they want to nix as many Republican seats as possible in this state to try to give Democrats an advantage on Capitol Hill? This is going to pass by a landslide. New York City election, it's already over. I mean, if it's even close, I'll be shocked. It's not going to be close. And then New Jersey, this is pretty shocking too. Although it's only 26%, and we're starting to see the vast majority of the results coming out of the big blue areas. What up, Danielle? Danielle is talking about weed, which is Daniel. Sorry, Daniel. Daniel's talking about weed, which is the entire crux of my channel right now. But yeah, Daniel says, I'm 18, tempted to smoke weed. It's been 3 days, but I want mental clarity and REM sleep. Absolutely, dude. Keep going. It gets easier. I don't know what else to tell you. It just gets easier. You got to occupy yourself, though. You have to stay focused on something that interests you, whether that's fitness, whether that's like you're like fucking starting a business or school or something. You have to have a reason. There's a really good video, actually, that just came out from Kurzgesagt. Kurzgesagt Study Everything, whatever it's called. Everybody knows Kurzgesagt, right? I'll post this in the Discord. Daniel, if you're not yet part of my Discord, definitely consider joining the Discord. I will post that Kurzgesagt video in the Discord because it's really, really good. But it talks a lot about that, just occupying yourself, moving on from that state of who you were. That's the way to do it, in my opinion. But stick around if you need more help. Feel free to ask any questions you have, my man. So anyway, back to the governorship in New Jersey. I think that the race that really excites me the most is out of my current state here in Pennsylvania, which is the state Supreme Court race. This is not very highly covered. A lot of people don't understand that what we're voting for in Pennsylvania right now is whether or not we should simply retain the Democratic Supreme Court justices. Now, there's been this sort of push by the Republicans to say, oh, there need to be term limits. Vote no on this measure in order to make sure that there's term limits. Everybody wants term limits, right? But what they're not telling the general population is that this is not to kick the Democrats out and get Republicans, right? This is to kick out the Democrats and have nobody. You understand? And so what that would mean is a backlog of violent crime cases, a backlog of anti-democracy cases, corruption cases, massive financial fraud cases, all which will simply be sitting in storage for 2 years. And so you can imagine if you're a victim of a severe violent crime, a lot of the time you don't have 2 years to reconstruct your life and create some degree of closure. I don't know. I'm ranting and raving about a bunch of different potentials here, but the bottom line is the Republicans are being dishonest with their voters about what this means to vote no. Now, looks like we're in the fucking clear at this point. I mean, this is an absolute blowout. But again, it's too early to call, and we only have reporting from where is Philadelphia? Is Philadelphia Bucks County? I thought it was Allegheny County. Or no, that's goddamn Pittsburgh. So you already have Allegheny kind of reporting in. So it's really going to be incumbent on all of these more rural districts to really get their numbers in and give us the answer of what's actually going on here. So won't hold out hope yet. Butler, ear-pierced capital of the world. But so far it's looking good. We're yes for the most part. Now let's start to look at. I'm curious, based out of my county, how we're gonna vote in terms of judges. Search for a county, Lawrence County, and I'm curious how Lawrence County is doing in terms of judges. There's not reporting at all in terms of some of this stuff. Maybe I won't be able to find it here. I don't know. Philadelphia is in Philadelphia County. It's between those two in the east. Is it? Monroe, Carbon, Lehigh, Berks, Chester, Montgomery. Philadelphia, you're right. Okay. Oh, so Philadelphia is not even reporting at all yet. South, yeah, you're right. Okay. Yeah, so Philadelphia, no reports yet, but this is pretty solid. I mean, even out of some of the more... I mean, these are Republican districts, right? Clinton County, Wayne County, even Erie County is a Republican-controlled district. And so this is looking good. This is really looking good for us. The main reason that I'm so gung-ho about this is that if the Pennsylvania Senate is still controlled by Republicans, and therefore they could have some power to push a gerrymandering move, assuming that there was no Supreme Court to call them out for illegal activity and push it back at least to 2026. And so this is why people are so psyched about getting out there and getting people in Pennsylvania to vote yes for the retention of the Supreme Court judges. I am curious. There was Virginia, South Carolina, Michigan, Pennsylvania. Here we go. Maybe this will give us some feedback. Yes, this is absolutely it. this will tell us where the main. Here we go. Nice, looking good. 11% of votes counted. So none of this is going to be really hard hitting until midnight tonight. So I'll be here. I was going to say originally I'll be here every step of the way. I'll try to be here every step of the way, but to my two concurrent viewers on YouTube and then my two concurrent viewers on Twitch, I love you all. I have had a hell of a day. Very, very emotionally trying day. And so I don't know if I'm going to be able to stick it out the whole day. I have to take my dog to the vet first thing in the morning. So I do need to get some sleep, but I will try to stay up and make some moves on this stuff. Just to make sure I keep you guys in the loop. But so far what I'm seeing is the Trump mandate is still continuing. Americans are not happy about what's going on, and they're willing to vote blue no matter who, just even though the party is at a historic low in terms of popularity. They're still willing to vote for Democrats simply by virtue of the insanity that we're seeing on the other side. I mean, Winsome Earl Sears in Virginia is, a psychopath. Jason Miyares has managed to survive all of this drama mostly because his opponent is riddled in scandal. And yet, Jay Jones is still pulling it out, despite essentially calling for, despite literally calling for violence against Republicans. I mean, that is what he called for. Let's just look it up. What exactly did Jay Jones say? He, where can we find it? Can we read about it? Maybe there will be pictures or something. And one time it's in the text, Jones described a scenario in which Gilbert, between Jones and Del Carey. Wait a minute. Who's Gilbert? Todd Gilbert. I see. Jay Jones fantasizes about shooting the House Speaker Todd Gilbert, and he literally says verbatim. He says he fantasizes about a scenario in which Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head, right? And then he says, the lawmakers' children, a wish that Republican lawmakers' children die in their mother's arms. Damn, son. I mean, that is some heavy, heavy language. And yet, despite that, he is winning by a hell than I would have expected at this point. And the votes just keep coming in. And so it's 60%. Holy mother of Christ. So at 60%, the PBS has already called, the AP, so the Associated Press has already called the race for the vice, for the lieutenant governor. Incredible. AP has already called the race for Abigail Spanberger with a healthy 11% lead. Just devastating. And so this race continues to eke out. 2%. This is an upset. This is proof that Democrats in this country are furious. So furious, in fact, that they're willing to vote in somebody who is calling for literally not just violence, but the fatality of his opponents. That is a standard that used to only be owned by the Republican Party, right? That they could say things like, I advocate for violence against my opponents, and they would continue to be elected. Donald Trump famously said he could kill somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody would stop him. This is, I believe, my friends, that we are seeing a cold civil war in this country. We are in the midst of a cold civil war in this country. So New Jersey election, this is a lot more interesting, but mother of God, we're going to need to see some more votes. So Reddit suggests that New Jersey votes, 8 p.m. is when we can really start looking. We will figure that out. California, 11 minus 3, so that is 8 p.m. That makes sense. That 8 p.m. is really when their results are going to start to come out. But like I said, we're going to keep our eyes on this Supreme Court election here in Pennsylvania, one of the most important ones to me personally. Looks like Virginia is a wrap. I think that it's still so close that they're not willing to call this, but unless he can shrink this lead, I mean, this is even if you understand this, what is at stake, and really the way that this race has gone, even 2% is not good for Jason Miyares and the Republican Party. California Prop 50, we expect this to be an absolute landslide. Polls close at 11 p.m. EST, but it doesn't matter if you do or you don't, because California is passing Proposition 50. Once again, what the Republicans have done in the last 10 months is nothing short. The Democrats, and despite being historically unpopular, right, they are still eking it out. Because they're unpopular, but Donald Trump, voters think that he is just like the reincarnation of Lucifer. It doesn't get any worse than that. I mean, he has historically low approval rating. Not for him. After January 6th, his approval rating was at 28%, which is pretty fucking bad. You never mind. We'll leave it at that. So we're excited about New York. Nothing's counted yet, but by God, if anybody gets within a fucking 10-foot pole of Zohran Mamdani, it's going to be a shock, to say the least. I would love to see. Oh, you don't even have Cuomo on the top list. I would love to see Sliwa pull further than Cuomo. I think that would be a beautiful poetic justice that the man who has spent his entire life attempting to rebuild New York City, who fought the mob with his bare hands, is going to do more than the failed governor who, did and continues to rob the state. But Mamdani is going to win, I believe, by more than 50%. And in fact, I recommend everybody go to Polymark, more than 50%. Anywho, yeah. So, grab my phone and do some texting. For those of you watching, you're like, this is shocking transition. I need to, boom. Speaking of politics, I am actually working. My company is working on a campaign right now. Wow. To the three of you that are continuing to watch this, man, shout out to you guys. You guys are the realest. But yeah, my company is doing a political campaign, which is insane, and it's a pretty high level campaign. You guys will hear about it over the next year. If you stick around and watch my YouTube channel, it is a massive development for me, for my business, for my partner. We hopefully will be sending somebody to Washington D.C. that will be a pretty powerful person, and I'm really excited to do that. I'm really excited to push a progressive, a tried and true union man who is a committed leftist, and so by the grace of God and all the powers that be, we will put him in D.C. and we will remove a Republican who has been in office for 15 years, who is an absolute criminal, a scumbag, a bad person. So, anywho, any updates? I don't know if we have any updates. Unless we just pull it out with 3 million other viewers, I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my good friend, Let's Talk Elections, as he covers this race. And if you guys have comments, questions, you want to jump back into the conversation, feel free to drop a comment. I will go ahead and pause the stream of Let's Talk Elections. But until we get some real viewers out here, we're gonna stream a stream. We're gonna be the stream that watches other streams. Bada boom. About it.
That a lot of the red states, let's say they get rid of Section 2 or do some type of alteration that allows newly drawn maps, even though it will be way beyond the deadline, and some states might have already conducted primaries, the stakes at which the Republicans are putting on this decision from the U.S. Supreme Court is, I do believe that they will redraw the map anytime they can do it. 2026 is going to be a race, especially after tonight. They're going to see these results and say, we're going to lose. So redrawing the map might be a necessary component for them to have any chance at victory. They'll do it by any means necessary. So no word yet, but I think we are going to hear something soon. Sorry if the polar seltzer is annoying in the microphone. I'll back up. Not Pritzker. I don't need the background music. Okay, appreciate it. I don't know how much it is, how much you can hear it. We should take a vote. I can turn it off if we would like, but I just feel like sometimes there's a lap in what I'm saying. But my first live stream in so long. It feels so cool. Let's see. Called it for Jay Jones a little bit ago. It's absolutely insane for the Democrats here. Mikey Sherrill, yes, is called. Democrats keep control of the House of Delegates. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you guys digging the curls, thank you. If you guys have any contacts for me, there's an email on my about section. If you could just shoot me an email, that'd be great. I don't check it super often, but I will check it tomorrow. But appreciate it. Thank you. Let's head over to the House Delegates races. That's what you guys are talking about. Let's see. Ring light's absolutely necessary. I want you to see what I look like without it. Not good. But it blocks me from being able to actually see the screen up on top of my monitor. So bear with me as we look for the Virginia races. It should be on State Navigate. Maybe I closed it out. No, I didn't. It's right here. Let's refresh. Here we are. Democrats are in a great position. 55 seats across Virginia. Wow, look at this. I'm really interested in what this looks like compared to their last forecast. They got a lot of states right. Let's see, projected margin. I mean, we'll see across the state. Wow. Democrats are just massively overperforming in a lot of these seats. So wow, absolutely insane. We'll see though. Some more results coming in. No ring light looks better. Guys, I don't know.
All right. Let's see where we're at. What up, 3 viewers? How's it going? 3 Twitch viewers, my loyal Twitch viewers. What's going on? Hit that follow button. I go live all the time on Twitch. Just kidding. I try to, though. I'd like to stream more. So let's see. Where are we at in my state here in Pennsylvania? Still only 15% of the votes counted. What are we looking at? Abigail Spanberger is called. How's about here in Virginia? Okay. It's same thing. It continues to be a 2% lead. I mean, there's a mandate. There's a mandate. That's where we're at in this country. Hey, thank you for hitting that follow button, single person on Twitch. Really appreciate you. What's your Twitch account? I think it's the same. I think it's like Zach. What is it? Zach Oy Official. Check this out. Here you go. Boom. I'll put this in the chat. Bam. Yeah, somebody on Twitch just followed me. Super cool. Guess what? I now have 10 whole Twitch followers. Life is good. Let's see. What else? What are we looking at? Anything from California yet? Nothing. Nothing from California yet. And how's about here in the great state of New York, in the greatest city in the world, New York City? Nothing. Okay, so let's clean house and see if we can start over. Okay, so New York results won't even be available for 15 more minutes. Interesting. Georgia. What's even going on in Georgia? I don't know too much about this. North Carolina, I don't know much about that either. I know Ohio has a Secretary of State vote. Yeah, I don't know anything about these. I imagine a lot of these are kind of like smaller local elections a lot of the time, which makes sense why you don't really hear too much about them. I'd be curious what's going on in Texas. But it sounds like so far Pennsylvania and Virginia, and maybe to some degree New Jersey, are what we're seeing right now. But even right now, it looks like Mikey Sherrill is really taking it away. A 20% margin. That's really crazy. Anywho, 1 second.
Wow.
Cool. My lovely partner just brought me some dinner. So I will try not to eat in y'all's ears. I will go ahead and mute myself once again, and we'll follow up with my buddy Let's Talk Elections and see what he's got to say.
Look at these shifts. Loudoun County, 12 points to the left. Prince William County shifted 16 points to the left. Spotsylvania, I did not know that was a county, 11 points to the left. Portsmouth, 8 points to the left. Let's see if we can find a Republican trending. Okay, we found one. Looks like there, about 11,000 votes there. Another one, 1%, almost every single county. Wow. I mean, look at some of these massive shifts. And when you look, if we just sort by it, I mean, just fascinating. Really, really fascinating, to say the least. Only 2 counties shifting to the right. I want to see if that compares to what we saw in...
I'm going to assume that was Zach Radeja. Yo, shout out to you, man. You're my 11th Twitch follower. And if that was somebody else, hey, shout out to you as well. But appreciate you, Zach, and I appreciate you having your name spelled the right way as well. We will end any semblance that it's possible for the name to be spelled with a K or just a C. Absolute blasphemy. So shout out to you, Zach Radeja. Appreciate you, man.
2017. This is 2024. This is 2017. I don't know if we'll have the 20 shift from 2016. Okay, quite a bit more red.
Yes, you're a legend. I love you. Okay. And let me know if you can hear this guy stream. I know it's like kind of cheesy for me to be streaming a streamer, but let me know.
In terms of the results there, but Ralph Northam was expected to do win there. He won by about 8.9%. A lot of red though. A lot of red areas, shifting in favor of the GOP relative to the last cycle. So really interesting. But in either case, the 2025 race in Virginia, an absolute blowout for the Democrats. Not just in the governor's race, but the lieutenant governor's race, where the Democrats are doing well. The attorney general's race, which is yet to be called by the Times, but should be called sometime soon. Good position for them to be in. All right, New Jersey should be back up on ballot line here. Here we go. Wow. I mean, just really massive margin for Mikey Sherrill. She is going to do well, though. She's probably going to end up winning this by quite a bit. Let's see. Wow. Virginia is weird. I'm not going to read the rest of your comment, unfortunately. But it's definitely weird. East Coast is ahead in time. They know the results, but won't tell us. Right. I agree. Let's see here. Let's see. When does Prop 50 come in? Bear with me. 11 p.m. Eastern. In 2 hours. But I think it'll come in fast. I don't know if it will come in fast. Yeah, Republicans are underperforming in New Jersey, but I don't think this margin is indicative of everything. I think we're going to see it a little bit closer. My expectation on that race, so what it looks like here, Virginia is tracking to get results, and we don't know for sure, but it looks like Spanberger's probably going to end up winning. I'm interested what DDHQ winning by. Obviously, she's going to win, but I'm interested to see what DDHQ has said will be. General's called, the governor's called. So they think that Spanberger's going to win by roughly 11. Lieutenant governor is going to be a margin here of roughly 8 across the state.
It sounded like he just said attorney general got called. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. PBS NewsHour? I mean, we can check a bunch of people. Yeah, it's not true. Nobody called this yet. So the AP would have made this call. And I apologize. My cat is continuing to jump on the table while I'm eating. which is very inappropriate and very annoying. So stop it, cat. Okay, but can you show me the polls? You can't show me the polls? Nope. Get out of here, kitty. Dang, AP. You have a terrible website. Or maybe I'm just a literal moron. Where's the, man, what the get this shit out of my face. Pittsburgh General, what the? Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. The Pittsburgh mayoral race was tonight. That's cool. I live just north of Pittsburgh. Probably shouldn't dox myself. Cool. Corey O'Connor, Spanberger. Okay, interesting stuff. You know what? You are really just the absolute nuisance. Get out of here. Oh, and then she like attacks me because she's like, "How dare you tell me not to do that?" Oh, interesting. JD Vance's half brother ran for office and lost tonight. Too bad, so sad. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering when they're gonna. Probably pretty soon. I mean, I'm at now. It's 3% though. See, it's not quite 3%. It's 2.4%, but he's eking it out. I mean, it's just getting worse and worse, and this was not expected at all. I mean, they really thought that you know that it was going to be at least really tight, right? They were at least really tight. They did not think that you could say, "Hey, I'm going to kill people," and you could win. That's not how this works. That's not how Democratic politics works. That might be how Republican politics works. That is not how Democrats roll. You cannot advocate for violence against people and win in the Democratic Party. You couldn't call for violence and win in the Democratic Party. But it looks like in 2025, what Americans are seeing on the national level is so bad, so brutal, so damaging to their experience of regular family economics, of regular, pursuit of work, of regular requirement for kids' education, for fucking food for people's families, my friends. It apparently in 2025, it is so bad out here that Americans are going to say, you know what? I don't care that this person advocated for violence against his opponents. What I care about is being able to feed my family. What I care about is being able to protect myself against, a radical president, right? Who's straight up said that he would attack people in other states. Greg says, quitting weed tonight, boys. Wish me luck. Very similar journey as you, Zach. Started at 15, daily since 17. I'm closer to 25 now. Sick of this. Every time I get high, I think I wish I was sober. Hey, man, good luck. And it is worth it. And you'll be grateful that you did it. And that's what I tell everybody. So good luck, man, and keep us in the loop. So it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good across the board for Democrats here. I'm curious if Republicans are going to eke out anything, right? Because they thought maybe they would be able to walk away with this New Jersey race, but no chance in percent of the votes counted. Again, you could really rake in from these other counties, but even like the more rural red counties are pulling for Cheryl by a hefty margin. This was the other race. Like I said, this is the other race that people thought was going to be close, but again, they thought it might be close by like a 0.5% or something. What you're looking at here is almost a 3-point lead by a guy who said that he wanted to shoot Republicans. He verbatim said that he wanted to use a firearm against Republicans, and he's going to win. And I think it speaks volumes to what we're going to see next year in 2026. It's going to be destructive. When that was why so many voted for Trump, because they thought he was going to help feed their families. Exactly. The number one issue for Americans in this country is affordability. It is grocery prices. It is energy prices. It is general affordability in a world where it seems like all of the socialism is going to the rich, right? We have socialism for capitalists in this country, but for everybody else, it's anarchy. It's good luck, right? Throw you to the wolves. That's what it is, right? And so Donald Trump won on the promise that he was going to bring back the American dream. He was going to make groceries affordable. He was going to make housing affordable. He was going to make the economy work for regular Americans again. Well, guess what? He's surrounded himself by billionaires. He has made billions of dollars off crypto scams, right? He has continued to scam his Americans, and on top of that, he's got Gestapo going through the streets, right? He's destroying our relationships with international partners. He's making travel impossible for certain people. This is not Wehrmacht Germany. This is America, right? What Americans value above all is honesty and freedom, and he's taking those things away from people. And so this doesn't get better for Republicans. This is a mandate. This is only going to galvanize and strengthen the resolve of the party to say, you know what, it doesn't matter that we're actually, as a party, we're hated more than Republicans are. Is doing what he does. He's instituting the Trump effect, which is I can win, but everything fails. And people like Jason Miyares knew that, right? People like Jack Ciattarelli knew that, and that's why they didn't, buddy with Trump very much. But it doesn't matter. They got that red little R next to their name, and people see that red little R and they think, I don't like Democrats, but I sure as hell don't like Republicans. And I don't think that Republicans are going to do anything to make my life better if I give them power, because of what I'm seeing on Capitol Hill as congressional Republicans fall over themselves to embolden the radical Trump administration. And that's just not working out for regular people. Let's see, anything else? So New Jersey and Virginia, these are the first ones to look at. Pennsylvania, I'm interested in Pennsylvania because that's where I live right now. And I do think it's important that they vote for, retaining the Supreme Court justices. Number's still pretty low right now, 20%, 19%, 21%. But as things continue, these are Philadelphia. Philadelphia's a blue wall, right? We're gonna see what the numbers show, but I don't think Republicans will be coming back from this one, even in Pennsylvania, right? Where, this is just friends. Margins that eat. Now, my perception of the two of you watching this, my perception is that there's a lot of work to be done, right? There is a lot of healing that must be done. What was inflicted on this country, both sides, is a trust building exercise that, up until earlier this year, Republicans were, they were winning. They were winning. Donald Trump rode that mandate straight to the White House. You can see our conservative over here. I like to go into the conservative subreddit sometimes just to kind of, see what kind of lies they're telling. Zach says, letting him tear down the East Wing and dig up the Rose Garden for his ballroom. Doing absolutely nothing about it. Paying lip service to every single thing that he does, spinning every single story so that it's good what he's doing. It's the Democrats' fault what he's doing. Their official party line is gaslighting, right? Their official social strategy is gaslighting. That doesn't work. Americans aren't fucking stupid. Well, many of us are. We're very stupid, but we're not, I don't know what to say. We're not that stupid. We're not so stupid that you can tell me what I'm seeing is not what I'm seeing. It might work for the 37% of people that still support him, right? The 80% of Republicans that continue to support him. But for the 70% of independents, for the 90% of Democrats, like the 98% of Democrats that are furious with him, right? The question is, what do the independents think? Right? That is always what will decide the election. And right now he is underwater by a lot underneath of those independents. And so his mandate is running out. That's why he has to steal these elections. Draw their congressional maps. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough that the Supreme Court is going to repeal the Voting Rights Act and get rid of those black congressional districts. That will not win. That will not allow them to survive what will happen next year. And if they lose, I mean, if they lose the House and they lose the Senate, they are up shit's creek with no paddle. They're fucked. They're screwed. And it's going to be really bad for them because there's going to be a massive progressive mandate. Just you watch. And corporate Democrats, centrist Democrats are going to lose. There will not be anybody to kind of do the Barack Obama, hey, it happened. It's in the past. Let's forget about it. Like what Barack Obama did with, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Just, it happened. It's in the past. Bush and Dick Cheney, they did what they did. It was immoral. It was wrong. But we're going to let it go and we're going to heal together, right? Well, guess what? People don't like that shit anymore. It doesn't work anymore for most people. They remember that. They remember the disastrous wars in the Middle East, right? The forever wars. They remember the disastrous financial collapse of 2008, right? Occupy Wall Street never went anywhere, right? Because there was no accountability from the government. People don't want to see that shit anymore. Donald Trump committed insurrection, and Joe Biden's administration let him walk free. Or at very least, Democrats think that they're willing to buy that line anymore, right? Of, it's in the past. Let's heal. Let's move on. No, that is not going to fly. They're not going to stand for it. So you're going to see a lot of progressives moving up the ballots. You're good. Hakeem Jeffries, the do nothings, right? The do nothing Sam and Sally's booted out, and I think that what you're seeing in Virginia and New Jersey with Abigail, Mikey Sherrill, they're corporatists, they're corporate Democrats, they're run of the mill, they are business as usual Democrats, and they would lose if it weren't for what Donald Trump was doing on the national stage. I mean, Winsome Earl Sears made a grave mistake of really trying to buddy up to Donald Trump, a president who has openly said he does not like her, entirely built on smearing trans people. And what's your fucking child doing in the bathroom? That doesn't put groceries on the table, right? That does not put credit into your into your account with your energy provider, right? This idea of like waging a culture war and saving the West or whatever. But most people don't give a flying fuck about that. Most people want to know, what are you going to do for my bills? And so far, Winsome Earl Sears has said, well, I'm gonna talk a lot of shit about trans people. That'll work. Anyway, Kids Park, what's going on, man? Kids Park Nursery Rhymes and Learning Videos. Hey, how y'all doing? I'm doing great. How are you doing? Good to see you. Intelligent Scrapbook on Twitch. What's going on? Hope it's going well. How are you doing? We are watching some election races here. So 9 p.m. is when they said we can start looking at the New York City election results. As you can see, Mamdani blasting through blasting the absolute shit out of these people. This is closer than I would have wanted, but 51% is destructive. That is just dangerous. And I mean, you could have made some fat bread if you'd gone on Polymarket and said, hey, not only do I think Mamdani is going to win, I think he's going to win by more than 50%. You could have been buying dollar bills for 50 cents. What you're looking at here. Yeah, in a couple minutes. Be right back. It sounded like a bunch of crashing just happened in my basement. So I'll play this for you guys, and I'll be back in a minute here.
Found a routine there, so did definitely a lot of self-care, but was definitely an interesting time living in the nation's capital. It was just very interesting. There was the military parade, there was the nationalization of the DC police force in the time that I was there, so certainly interesting, and a lot to really that helped me understand a bit more about some of these more localized races like Virginia. Thank you for the super chat. Keep up all of your fantastic work, young man. I just found your channel a couple months ago and couldn't be more impressed with the level of detail you provide to your audience. Keep it up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you enjoy the content, and I try to include detail. That's why the videos are long. I'm sorry. I know some people take problem with it, but I try. You should normally make videos with a face cam. I am considering. I don't really have the means to set it up as easily. This is like the most takes a little bit. I also don't really love how I look when I'm speaking to the camera, but I will try. And I'm trying to do more interviews, more on-screen stuff. So yeah. I'm not sure why Fox won't call. the state of New Jersey. It honestly could just be that their decision desk sometimes is very fast and sometimes very slow. Let's see, Fox News, New Jersey election results. But I'd be interested to see, the reasoning as to why sometimes they take as long as they do. I mean, they're already saying it's going to go deep into the night, not that deep, right? I don't even know if they have an election result. Fox News. They haven't called it yet, but New Jersey governor's race. Yeah, we'll see. They'll probably have to call it soon, though. You can only hold off for as long as you'd want. You guys, I actually met Steve Kornacki the other day. Quite wonderful. So, great guy. I also met Harry Enton, G. Elliott Morris. These are names that you recognize. But yeah. Love your work. I've been listening for a few weeks. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoy it. I did see the flips in the Virginia House of Delegates races. Let's head over there because you guys should be looking at something besides just the results that have been not changing, believe it or not. NBC hasn't called New Jersey either. Okay. Guys, I actually sometimes what I used to do is when I would they would do an election simulation. Let's see. 270 to win election simulator. And I would just click stuff because it'd be fun. And then I could see, okay, who's going to win, who's not going to win. Yeah. Silver Shakes, thank you so much. I think I've subscribed to you since your channel's beginning. I've been here since 20. Your commentary the whole time. If you're comfortable, would love hearing about your political shift over time too. Really depends. On politics. I do think though, the real reckoning point for me in politics wasn't the 2016 election. My interest in it, where I started forming political opinions, was when I was 9 years old. In the 2012 election, my fourth grade, I'm going to click this in the background so people aren't bored by what I'm saying, but my fourth grade social studies teacher made us use real on a prediction on the election, and I will never forget that class. That was the first time I actually really political campaigns. I've had, all this experience in the lead up to in high school too. Oh, this is a very interesting map. Maybe, right? Maybe. But the shift has definitely taken a turn, and in a way that I think maybe isn't necessarily meaning that I'm more partisan in one way or the other. I think that to me, it's more about a level of involvement. I really feel that young people should be, whether in the political analysis space, the journalism space, on the Hill, on campaigns, should be involved and at the forefront of it, because our generations are actually going to be the ones impacted by a lot of these things. So I found myself very much encouraging everybody to be involved in politics for a while. And I think that a big inspiration for it has been this channel. And yeah. But if you are interested in, my own personal political beliefs, we can talk about that at another time, but not on here. Reach out to me though, or follow me on Instagram if you want. Sixth flip called for the Virginia House of Delegates race. Let's jump back over. Wow, guys, this is crazy. First of all, the State Navigate forecast said 60 to 40. So they are tracking now for Democrats not only to win what they expected, but potentially significantly more. This would be the largest majority for the Democrats in the House of Delegates decades on it. I mean, you're going to have to go back half a century to find it at this point. So really phenomenal performance for the Virginia Dems. Really, really phenomenal performance. I did cover Pennsylvania briefly. It is interesting to say the least, but it is also, I will say, Democrats were probably going to win that one anyway. Someone just texted me, are you live streaming? I think Jay Jones might win by 1 to 2%. I said, yes, join. But Perry, thank you for the super chat. Welcome from Canada. Say no to tariffs. I actually have been very interested to see what the Canadian response has been. Yes, a few minutes until New York City. Stay tuned. New York City is right around the corner. A lot of results are going to come in at 9. Fast forward to 9, and no results are in. No, it'll come in. Is Decision Desk just insane, or are they legit? I'm a big fan of DDHQ. I think they do a lot of good work. They call races very early, and they are not wrong. I believe that they are right on this. They called Jay Jones. It's only time that other networks will too. He's doing really well in this race. Wow. They haven't called New Jersey Gov on New York Times side, but yeah. New York City. We're gonna head over there and just wait and see. I wish that I could. Mary Jane, thank you from a fellow Marylander. Shout out. What part of Maryland are you from? Or if you don't want to say what county, because that's the way we like to go. Hopefully that's broad enough that you feel comfortable saying it. But shout out Maryland. Thank you so much for the super chat. I used to do Minecraft on these live streams, guys. I used to play Bed Wars. I don't do that anymore. I don't know. Maybe we could play like Roblox, Steal the Brain Rot. I don't know, but I try to keep it more professional, more serious. Frederick, shout out Frederick. I had a few friends who went to high school out there, like Urbana and stuff. But yeah, great county, great county. Play Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, guys. Bed Wars 2s with me. Find my Instagram, shoot me a DM. I will play with you. Once I set up my PC. Once I set up my PC. Guys, I don't have any Labubus. Maybe that's getting too much. Do not have any. Moco, Montgomery County. That's awesome. Yes, Georgia Public Service Commissioner race. Let's head over there really quickly, guys. But I'm going to jump back. I need to jump back to this one because I'm anxiously awaiting the results in New York City. Democrats win Public Service Commissioner 2 special election by a lot against an incumbent Republican. Georgia Public Service Commissioner statewide race again. The Democrats win by a lot to defeat the Republican incumbent. It is 9 o'clock. Go, girl. Give us absolutely nothing. All right. Well, New York City is coming in soon. Polls are closed. Stay in line. As Marylander from Charles County here, appreciate all the work you do. Appreciate you. D plus 20 Georgia, not so much. There's important context that needs to be had in the fact that Atlanta has primary elections, I believe. But either way, Skywars commentary. I haven't played Skywars in a while. So no New York resulting. Come on. I'm itching. Maybe DDHQ has some. Let's head over there. Or maybe we have them here. Oops. Should have opened up new.
All right, homies. Unfortunately, I have had a bit of a complication today. For the three of you watching, you're the family, so I'm just going to tell you. So we are having some challenges with one of my older dogs, and so he's recently been diagnosed with Lyme disease. But it's complicated and it's challenging, and I did not expect to have to deal with this kind of a medical emergency today. So I also don't feel too bad because not too many of you have popped in here, and there's a lot of other people that you can watch cover this stuff. So I want to just brag to Kids Park, supporting me and watching the stream. Without further ado, though, I am going to go ahead and drop this. I am going to probably be streaming more this week for sure. If you guys are in it to, for the haul and you're like, I like watching your content, let me know what you want to see more of. I got to commit myself to this YouTube thing, man. I've had a really good time so far. I've really just felt so incredibly thrilled by the community that you guys have provided me with. And I want to serve, I want to do what I can. So without further ado, my friends, thank you for tuning in. Keep watching those elections. Stay active as a citizen. This is your civic duty. This is how we make the world a better place. And so without further ado, much love to all of you. Take care of yourselves. Adios. And I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.